GTO. What's up, pals? Welcome to the Your Random Pal channel. And today I'm at Cruisin the Coast car show's Vicari Auto Auction. They got a bunch of gorgeous cars getting ready to be auctioned off to people. And when I came in this auction today, they told me there's a limit. You can only buy 5 cars a day, but if you come tomorrow, Thursday, it's unlimited. You can buy as many cars as you want. So if you came out today on the Wednesday, you'd only get to be able to buy 5 cars. Ain't that sad? But anyway, I'm gonna take you around, show you some of the cool cars out here that you could come out and buy. Although you're probably watching this video and they've already sold, but there's always next year. So as soon as I entered the venue, I saw this gorgeous Ford GT40 race car, number 98. It is sweet and very slick, very aerodynamic. These cars were Le Mans race winning cars. Now this particular example was actually a left-hand drive, and as far as the ones that raced in Le Mans, I believe they were all right-hand drive. Here's an up-close look at the engine compartment, followed by the exhaust. And over here we have all the bidders at the auto auction. Y'all got deep pockets, don't y'all? Look, even Donald Trump's here to bid. And here we got the king, Richard Petty. Which car are you bidding on? And look at who it is, Walter. I know you got some big bucks. All those comedy shows you do. We got another king, Elvis. He's in the house, along with Roscoe P. Coltrane and his dog Flash. And here looks like Sheriff Buford T. Justice. Sheriff, you lost some weight. Did you lose all that weight trying to catch up to the bandit? This guy over here, he's shaking a little bit. He's nervous he's gonna get outbid on that Ford GT40. He's got some stiff competition for that car. Here we have a Camaro that identifies as a Trans Am. It's got the bird on the hood. It's actually a 2011 Camaro. And it was a Kevin Morgan conversion to a Trans Am. And it's the only one in this Synergy green color, which I really like. Now this car is number 6 built. You can see little Trans Am touches in the interior. Got the Trans Am on the headrest. And it even has a little sail panel bird right here on the quarter. There's the modern day interpretation of the snowflake wheels. And a modernized version of the 77, 78 Trans Am back end spoiler. On the front, it looks like they kind of squished that hood bird with that big hood scoop on it. Here's the stage where all the bidders will be setting for their bidding war. They're testing out the mic right now, getting things set up. They got some really cool automobilia out here. I mean, look at this chair, couch, whatever you want to call it. And all these really cool neon signs.
That sounds good. 1, 2, 1, 2, not all the way. 1, 2, 1, 2, check 1, 2.
There's a "It's 5 o'clock somewhere" sign, and that means it's time for bidding, right?
1 and 2.
There's a bunch of other cool memorabilia, not exactly car related, but guitars, signed autographed pictures, posters. Right here front and center, you can either go American with the Chevy Corvette Z06, it's a 2015, or you can go with this Lamborghini Gallardo, and it's a Spider, 2012 model year. This Cobra jet sign here is just so cool. We got a pair of Shelby Mustangs here. You can either get the GT500 or the GT500 King of the Road convertible. And behind these Shelbys are some more really cool neon signs hiding. They'll be coming up for bid as well. Huge Dodge Plymouth sign. And I got a couple of bicycles up for sale. Well, this one's got an engine to it, so it's kind of a motorbike. A couple of bicycles, scooter. Although I don't see Pee Wee Herman's bike out here. I guess it ain't came up for auction yet. Now this is super cool, especially since I'm a Trans Am enthusiast and I'm a big fan of the Smokey and the Bandit movie. The Smokey and the Bandit golf cart. Although I just don't play golf. It'd be really cool if this hood scoop was functional, but I can tell from kind of squinting in the back that it's not functional, it's blocked off, but that would be really cool. It's got the gold wheels, although it doesn't really have a snowflake design, but it has a really cool design to it. On the inside of the cart, you have the Trans Am Formula steering wheel, or some people call it the Swiss cheese steering wheel because of the holes in the spokes. This Bandit Trans Am themed golf cart would definitely be a hit on the golf course. It even has the Band 1 license plate. Just got to watch out for the sheriff chasing you all over the golf course. Here's a pretty red Italian Stallion Ferrari. And you just got to love that view under the back window. See that engine? Nice and clean. So here's an oddball. Here we have a very subdued looking Shelby Cobra. Doesn't have the racing stripes on it. It's actually a 4-cylinder, believe it or not. But the other thing that's off on it, it's actually a 77 MG. It does have the Shelby badges on it. Looks like a Shelby at first glance, but it's not. When I first glanced at this car from a distance, I thought it might be the British AC Ace before Shelby got a hold of it, but it's actually a MG kit car. This is a beautiful red 67 Pontiac GTO. I love the collar. It's got some pinstriping right in front of the hood scoop. And this 67 Goat has a much desirable 4-speed manual transmission. And on the back you can tell it's a 67 because it doesn't have the fluted taillights like the 66 does. Well, good grief, Charlie Brown. You're on a 70 Opel GT drag car. Now, if you're not too familiar with Opels, well, they're a European car. And the Opel GT, a lot of people call the baby Corvette. They were sold at Buick dealerships, so they called them the Buick Opel GT. Gotta love the Snoopy graphic on the front fender. It's in his doghouse, or he's on top of his doghouse. A little jet engine out the back. And it looks like one of the sponsors is Rob's AC. I'm wondering if this car actually has air conditioning. They're sponsoring it, right? I believe that's what it stands for, air conditioning. It's got the parachute and the wheelie bar. It's even plated on the back. Maybe it is street legal. Well, if you've ever wanted a Shelby on steroids, here's your chance. This is a 2018 Ford Shelby pickup truck, sporting a 5-liter V8. This Shelby's pretty jacked up. It's got a lot of ground clearance. So it's like driving a fast Shelby Mustang, but off-road. And coming down this massive hood to this massive grille, there's a little badge that just lets you know how powerful it is. 755 horsepower. And inside you got the Shelby badging on the seats and also on the center console. And since this is a very valuable truck, look, it's got a little numbered keypad security system on the door. And the rear has a body matching bed cover. Keeps all your gear from flying out when you're doing high speeds. And here we have the Arnold Schwarzenegger version of trucks. I'm talking the Hummer H1 Military Edition. Now the metal or steel on this truck is very, very thick, but I guess to save weight, they got these canvas doors. So this is not a vehicle you would want to be in if you were getting shot at. But it's the perfect vehicle for challenging terrains and fording rivers. This right here has got to be the world's largest radio flyer wagon, and you don't even need somebody to pull it because it actually drives itself. If you buy this radio flyer wagon, you can definitely bring all your friends and then some, and you'd have a party on wheels. Great for cruising, great for parades. Or even use it as a truck to haul all your gear and your fishing accessories. This 67 GMC pickup truck here is a life-size Hot Wheels. And not only is the exterior Tweety Bird yellow, but it also carries over somewhat to the interior with the steering wheel and the dash on the doors. Headliner, well there's no headliner, but roof. Right next to the GMC is a Chevy Apache truck. It's a lot older vintage. The vintage on this one is 1958, and you can see it's got a lot of patina, but that's done on purpose to make it look older. Gotta love the front end on this one. Here we have another Tweety Bird yellow ride, but this has also got some custom paint touches on it. It's got flames. If you look closely, you see a lot of metal flakes, sparkles in the paint. It just really looks bold, and I love it. Now this classy chassis is actually a 64 Mercury Comet, and it sports a 347 stroker motor under the hood. Following the flames down the side and looking inside, you can see how the paint graphics on the outside match the interior very well. That interior is just, it's so beautiful. Now the back of this 64 Comet kind of reminds me of the 64 Impala with the 3 lights on each side, the tail lights. It's like it's Ford's answer to the Impala. I swear there must be a whole lot of Smoking the Bandit fans like myself down here, because here we have a 2007 Jeep Wrangler Bandit Edition. Black and gold everywhere. It's got that engine turn gold on the side. Even says Bandit. It's got a miniature Trans Am hood scoop, and check the bird out. Goes all the way over the hood. Very oversized. Now unlike the Smoking the Bandit Trans Am, this Jeep has an extra set of doors. It's a 4-door model. And like the real Smoking the Bandit car, it has a Band 1 license plate. Another nice GTO. This one, I love the blue color on this one. It's just as nice as that red color on the other GTO, and it's the same year too, 67. Features the optional hood tack and the 4-speed manual, which I say is obligatory in a muscle car. Now this GTO has a vinyl roof on it. Just like the other GTO, it does not have the fluted taillights in the back, so you know it's a 67. Yeah. You don't see too many convertible trucks. Right in front of me is a 49 Chevy pickup. That's a wild custom. Somebody took a gamble on it. Now this truck here sports a 350 engine, V8. The inside, the interior is very modernized. It's obviously not from 1949, at least most of the stuff, maybe the dash. But you got an aftermarket steering wheel, you got aftermarket seats. Do love the pattern, this diamond pattern in the seats, the stitching. In the back, you got a place for your tools and plenty of room for your gear. And I just wonder, what kind of taillights are those? I've seen those somewhere before. I know, of course, they're Corvette taillights. For those of you that like a proper English sports car, here we have a 54 MGTF convertible. Now the interesting thing about this little MG is the mirrors, the side mirrors are on the fenders and not over here by the doors. You see that a lot on Japanese sports cars, but not anywhere else. or just Japanese cars in general, the older ones, not the newer ones. The interior on this one, it's, well, at least the dash, it's very different. All your gauges are in the center. I've seen cars like that. But you got like a glove box here right in front of you on the driver's side and a glove box on the passenger side. Very unique. And if this little MG gets hungry, there's a little donut on the back. This car right here would make Al Capone jealous. This is a Cadillac V8. I'm unsure of the vintage because it's not marked. But it looks like it's from the time period of the gangster days. The front, where the chauffeur sits, it's a convertible, but just on the front part. And as you can tell on the inside, it's been updated. Aftermarket steering wheel, aftermarket seats. Kind of wonder what kind of V8 motor is under the hood. And the back end of the Cadillac sports these classy teardrop taillights. And the coolest thing on this car, it's got to be its hood ornament. Check that out. And there's the Cadillac symbol right underneath. If you're looking to build your own race car, Vicari Auctions has the starting blocks for you. We got a race car here with no engine, no drivetrain. So you put whatever you want in it. I'm not quite for sure, but this kind of looks like an old Fiat Topolino, I think is what they call them. Don't quote me on that. And on the inside of this race car, it's all business, no creature comforts whatsoever. And even though it doesn't come with a drivetrain, it's got these really cool graphics it does come with on it. Flip, flop, and fly. A lot of you gearheads out there probably heard of the legendary Black Ghost Dodge Challenger, known for street racing, that was owned by a cop. Well, Dodge has made a last call edition Black Ghost 2023 Dodge Challenger. And like most Dodge Challengers, it still has the yellow protective strip on the front splitter. Now, if you know about the original Black Ghost Dodge Challenger, you'll recall that it has this gator skin on the roof, which this 2023 model also features. So here's your chance to own a Black Ghost Dodge Challenger of your own. Some people just love to wear plaid, and then there's some people that get a little carried away with plaid, such as the case for this Chrysler Newport. Here you can have a muscle car that's all dressed in plaid. And even though the seats are not plaid, they do match the exterior of the car that is plaid. Looking around at the back of the Newport, as you can see, it's got a very large trunk and it is a very large car. It's one heavy muscle car. If you're into pace cars, this 4th gen Camaro is one sweet little pace car. It's a Z28 Camaro, and it is the official pace car of the International Motorsports Hall of Fame, Talladega. And you could always put the top down on this pace car if you want to pace the track topless, that is. Looking for a truck with a gangster lean? Well, check out the lean on this 1950 Chevy truck. Now this Chevy truck features an LS engine swap and an air ride suspension, so you can make it lean from side to side. Although the outside is a little rusty, on the inside it's pretty clean. It's got some nice aftermarket touches, which gives it a little bit of a vintage look without going too modernized. And here we have a dwarf-size Mercedes G-Wagon. It's actually a golf cart. Can you believe it? I was thinking it was like the smart car version of the Mercedes G-Wagon, but it's a golf cart. And look at the interior, just like a regular vehicle. As you can see, I'm a bit taller than this Mercedes G-Wagon golf cart behind me, but the real version is gonna be a little bit taller than me. Here we have a gorgeous Corvette. Really love the paint on it. It's actually a modern interpretation of a classic early model Corvette, 53 to 55 style. As you can see, it's a bit longer than a 53 Corvette. Plus it's got this modern V8 drivetrain, a lot more powerful than the Blue Flame inline 6 motor. Now the interior is not classic, it doesn't match the outside, it's more modern. But looking at the exterior from any angle, it is just absolutely gorgeous. Now this particular classic modern car is actually a 2003 Corvette. Have you always wanted a semi-truck, big rig, but don't have a CDL? Well, this truck is your license to drive. It may not ride as high as a semi-truck, but it sure has the look down. Got the big rig exhaust stacks on the back of it, and you can tow a trailer on it. Plus it's got the big rig mud flaps. Check out the mirrors on this rig, pretty cool looking. Got a compass. And no, it doesn't have the Mack Bulldog hood ornament, but it has a donkey. Here we have a pristine classic Toyota truck, 1985. Check out how clean it is. This truck still looks showroom new. I love the graphics on it. Plus, apparently it comes with its own little truck trailer that matches the truck. It reminds me a lot of that truck in the Back to the Future movie, only that truck was black. This truck's red. If you like your car with flames, this 68 Firebird has got the paint job for you. Over here we have a Rolls-Royce-esque car. It's called the Custom Cloud. So you can see it's got the Spirit of Ecstasy hood ornament on it. The infamous Rolls-Royce grille. And the Rolls-Royce taillights. Now it is a bit of a wide car for a Rolls-Royce. To me it seems like it's kind of based off of something General Motors made, like maybe a Cadillac. Definitely not a Rolls-Royce interior. There's no leather here. It's all cloth seats. Oh, this little car here looks a little bugged out, and that's because it's a 1960 Austin Healey Bug-Eye Sprite. Hence the name. And this little guy features a 1,274cc motor, and I imagine the racing stripes add a little bit to the horsepower. Well, pals, that's a wrap for today's episode from the Vicari Auto Auctions in Mississippi. Don't worry, be random, and smoke some tires with old Willie Nelson over there.
And if you never ran to miss another random car video,
remember, ring that bell. Ring that bell.